Hello and welcome to Wednesday Live with Evie, where each week I share on a topic around productivity and your business. And welcome today. And today is number 88, and the topic is the other side of accountability. And say hi in the comments and let me know, what do you think of when you hear the word accountability? And what does accountability look like to you? So, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Evie Burke, and I work with entrepreneurs and I help them take their productivity to a new level. So, at the end of the day, they don't have to worry about what didn't get done or what needs to be done tomorrow, but instead they can just be completely present with the people that they choose to spend their off hours with. So, again, the question for the day is, what do you think of when you hear the word accountability? And what does accountability look like to you? And so I Googled, what does accountability mean, or I Googled accountability. And Google defines accountability as the fact or condition of being accountable, responsibility. And I don't know about the rest of you, but do you remember being in school and having to write down the definition of words and your teacher telling you that you couldn't use the word, another form of the same word to define the word? So this definition kind of frustrates me because accountability is the fact or condition of being accountable. Okay, we kind of get what that means, but if you don't know what accountable is, then you're kind of stuck. So when I looked up accountable, it says required or expected to justify actions or decisions. And if you kind of put those two together, then what you have is a definition of accountability that is the fact or condition of being able to justify actions or decisions. So I think generally in our terms, when we think about accountability, we think about saying, this is what I'm going to do today or this week, and being held accountable is sharing if it got done or not, right? So in the past, I've had this image of, a teacher looking down her nose at me and asking if I got my homework done, and me not wanting to disappoint or upset her by not having it done. That was accountability, is that teacher looking down at you and saying, "Did you get this done?" And being, "Yes, yes I did." Or, "No, I didn't. I'm really sorry. Can I finish this later?" Does anybody else have those images in their head that goes with accountability? So I think I think where there was something I wanted to say here, and I'm looking at my notes to make sure that it's not in here. Maybe it was just something that I had thought of. Okay, it's later. So I wanted to go into a point that I'll make later, so I'll save that for later. Um, so I want to expand a little bit on how we think of accountability. So generally, when we talk about accountability, there's little to no understanding, support, or compassion. It's just, did you get it done? Yes or no. And if the answer is yes, great. You move on with the next thing. And if the answer is no, you kind of get this feeling of, slacker, do better next time, right? That slap on the hand or wrist, or, however you want to talk about it. And some of the other things that tend to go with this side of accountability is noticing or recognizing when you could be doing more, or when you're playing small. And I still don't like the term playing small, but that's what it is. And noticing where you're not pushing yourself or challenging yourself to accomplish more, do more, you know, all of those things, right? And on the flip side of that, I have an accountability buddy, and we've been meeting for about a year and a half, and we meet weekly. And I was thinking about why this relationship works so well, and why I look forward to our calls even when I maybe don't get everything done that I said I was going to. And I'm going to, go into the call and say, well, I didn't get XYZ done, right? And it's because those three words are present: the understanding, the support, and the compassion. Those are in our calls. Those are in also just who both of us are. And there's an understanding that we're not perfect and sometimes things don't get done. There's an understanding that we're both pretty good at beating ourselves up and we really don't need somebody else to slap us on the wrist or tell us we need to be doing more. And there's support and listening when other things pop up that change our priorities for the day or the week or whatever the time frame is. We have that spot to come and share, hey, this is what's going on right now and this is how it changes what I was planning to do last week or what I was planning to do for the month. And there's compassion when things don't get done because we're sick or tired or we've overextended ourselves or we just need to take a break. And I think part of the reason that we don't associate understanding, support, or compassion with accountability comes from the definition itself, right? So the definition is, required or expected to justify actions or decisions. So when was the last time you were expected or asked to justify your thoughts or your actions and you thought, oh yeah, this experience is really going to be full of compassion and understanding? Yeah, that probably didn't happen. A lot of times when you hear the word justify actions, justify decisions, it automatically puts you on the defense. It automatically puts you on edge and feeling like you're being questioned and need to be, super careful about how you answer these questions. So maybe a better way to define accountability is to share the status of actions or share the status of decisions. So when you're holding yourself accountable, don't forget to offer yourself some of that understanding, support, and compassion, right? It's really important when you're holding yourself accountable to not maybe do what is so ingrained in us to, oh, I didn't get this done. It's so frustrating, blah, blah, blah. But instead to extend to ourselves that understanding, that support and compassion. So we can take that step back and say, okay, why didn't this get done? Where do I need to maybe take care of myself more? Where where is it that things are breaking down for me? And for many of us, a lot more will get done if we can offer ourselves that support and compassion than if we beat ourselves up or look down our noses at, the progress we have or haven't made, right? So that's the other side of accountability. It's that support, love, and compassion. So often all we think about with accountability is the tough, demanding side. But if we can flip it over and notice where that support, compassion, love, understanding is available and access it, then it can change that experience for us. So notice what you need. Notice, do you need to change priorities midweek because of whatever reason? Do you need to take care of yourself a little bit more right now? Maybe you need to be getting more sleep. I know that there's a lot of successful business people who say, they don't need very much sleep, right? They go on like 4 hours a night. And there's also a number of very successful business people who make sure that they get 7 to 9 hours of sleep each night. And those include Ariana Huffington, Jeff Bezos, Bill Gates, Sheryl Sandberg, very, very successful people that know that they make the best decisions when they're well rested. They are less stressed out. They are able to be more present when they're well rested. And so take a look at that. Where do you maybe need to take care of yourself some more? So before I end, I have a question. Where do you go? Where do you receive that support, compassion, understanding when it comes to accountability on a regular basis. And I know for me, like I said, I get that from my accountability partner, but do you have a place to go where you have that, again, compassionate, understanding, supportive accountability on a regular basis? And for me, having that gives me an extra push to decide what are those tasks that need to actually get done this week. What are those really important 2 to 3 things that need to get done? And then because I've taken the time to identify them, they're more likely to get done. They're less likely to be, pushed off down the pile because answering emails is easier or, whatever it is that week. So, what shift would happen in your business if you took the time to identify what those 2 to 3 really important tasks are this week and next week and the week after that? And then you accomplished them. What would change in your business if you started accomplishing those important tasks every single week, right? And this is one of the things that we do in the Unnamed Productivity Club is we have a meeting and we share, this is what I said was important last week and this is where I am with it. And then I offer that supportive, compassionate understanding. And then we look at, okay, what's coming up? What is it that's important for the upcoming week, right? And it's a really important process. And I know a number of the people in the group say that they're making more progress in their business because they have that reason to think about what is it that really needs to get done this week. And then even if they don't get everything done, they're still making progress. They're still moving forward. And if you're wondering why it's called the Unnamed Productivity Club, and here I'll post the link to it here. It's unnamed because when I had the idea to put this group together, I sat on it for maybe a week or two, the program, the club, because I didn't have a perfect name for it. I really wanted a descriptive and fun, catchy name, but I was having problems coming up with it. And I would sit and I'd think about it and I'd jot down ideas, but nothing really worked. And I quickly realized that I could spend the next month or two thinking about what that perfect name would be, or I could couch that for the moment and put the program out there and start helping people by offering it. And so I called it Unnamed as a temporary name for it, just to get it out there, because it's all about making progress and not waiting for perfection, right? It's all about moving things forward and not waiting for every little thing to be perfect with it. So now it's just the Unnamed Productivity Club. That's the name. So anyway, I would love to welcome you into the group. Enrollment is now open for the Unnamed Productivity Club for 20 new members through November 29th. And 2 of the spots are solidly filled. 1 is tentatively filled. And if this is something that interests you, join us. It's $5 for your first 30 days. So you have a chance to try it out, see if it's something that's really a good fit for you. And if it's not, then you can cancel it. It's really easy to cancel. But if it is a good fit for you, then what's that worth to you, right? How would your business change? So that is all I have for you today. I hope that you are offering yourself some of that compassionate accountability, and some of that grace that sometimes we forget to offer ourselves um, over the course of our days and weeks in business. So anyway, until next week, much love. Bye, everyone.